Today is a very cold day. It's also a very dark day. Okay, dark morning. I should not be saying dark day because it's going to be, might get brighter later on during the day. But the morning is dark and cold and wet. So whenever you're watching this, today is the 31st of March 2023. So those are 3 months down. I seriously hope that you have been able to at least accomplish a quarter. Yeah, the quarter should definitely be happening by April. But by now, a quarter of your goals, actually the quota should be now, because if it's 12 months, then every 3 months you should be doing a quota of your goals. And because 12 months equals to 6 months as half, and then equals to 3 months as a quarter. So by the end of March, if you divide your year into 4 quarters, you should have done a quarter of your goals. If not, then you should check yourself. Probably you set very big goals, or you just did not work hard enough. Yeah, so it's just two of those options. Either the goals were too big, or the person working on the goals wasn't a hard worker. But I doubt that anyone that watches this channel is not a hard worker. Most of you guys are hustlers. Depending on where you are, you hustle your way through whatever situations you have to go through. So today is Question Friday. If you are going to be watching live, definitely this is the time for you to post your questions, and then you get the answers. Now, I'll have to tell you that during this live broadcast, you have to stay all through if you post a question, because it might get answered at any moment, and then you might miss out if you don't mind. Watching this broadcast later on in the day, or in the week, or in the month, good morning Martha, good morning Mr. Cafero. So if you're watching this later in the day, later in the month, then definitely I'd like to tell you that we have Question Friday every week. And good morning Alan. And on Friday we basically try to answer questions that may come up from our members here. So and I'd like to tell you that every challenge you have, everything that puzzles you right now, someone has been there and they definitely found a way to maneuver. So trust me, someone has gone through it and they solved it. I used to think that maybe I've seen money troubles, and then one of my mentors, he had just had a performance, and he had, I think, about 17 to 20 million in his house. He hadn't banked it that day, and then robbers came into his house at night. Of course, he also had a mobile money business which had about 10 million in cash. So when the robbers came, they took computers, phones, and all the money. So you can imagine. And the next day the guy was smiling, and I find that that level of resilience was something to try and copy. Yeah. So he was very resilient for someone that had just lost 27 million. And not lost 27 million because you were trying to use it for something, but because guys came into your house and they decided that that money now belonged to them, and you had nothing to do but give it to them. Yeah, so whatever challenge that we go through, we be there thinking that, hey, I'm the greatest sufferer in the world, but people are suffering. People are suffering. So if you have a question, you start posting it now, and it will be answered. It will be answered very soon. not just by me, but everyone that is on this channel has an opinion, and everyone on this channel has experience that is unique to certain situations that I may not have. That's why we have an open question Friday, where you can ask your questions openly and then have them answered. Yeah, and then on top of that, we have the Marketing Tuesday. The Market Tuesday is when you get to come and tell us about your business, service, product, and I also give you a few marketing lessons. I teach you a few things that you need to know. So those 2 days are very special for us. Market Tuesday happens every Tuesday of the week, and then Question Friday happens every Friday, both days 7:15 a.m. Yeah. But where you are, is it raining or not? Is it as cold as it is where I am? Is it as wet as it is where I am? You remember that song? Yeah, I never liked to sing that song because I did not think that it's part of life for you to go to school when it's raining. It's basically, suffering should not be treated like it's unique, because everyone suffers. So it's not really a unique experience. So good morning, Team Arthur. My question is, what is a TIN number and how long does it take for one to have a TIN? Okay, good morning, Gaetano. So Alan answers, TIN is a tax identification number in full. Mr. Arthur and the others will continue from there. Is mobile money still profitable business? Yeah, so you guys that have done mobile money, tell us, is it a profitable business? I've personally not done that business before. There are businesses that are really tricky for me to do. So anyone that has done mobile money, kindly answer the question that Innocent has. Is mobile money still a profitable business? I find that every business that is still being done right now is actually a profitable business. Otherwise, people would not be doing that business, right? Yeah, so mobile money might actually still be profitable, or it might be that people are just looking for food, daily food. It might be that people are just looking for daily food. Anyway, I'll try to first handle Emma's question. What is a TIN number? Now, a TIN number is a unique tax identification number. Morning, Brian. Every Ugandan is actually supposed to have a tax identification number. The tax identification number, in the future, it's going to be very, very, very important. With the tax identification number, you're known to be a responsible citizen of the country, because then you contribute to the taxes of the country directly. We need to understand that everyone pays tax in the country indirectly through VAT, because almost everything that we buy has VAT included. The cars you buy, they have VAT. The sugar you buy has VAT. The cooking oil you buy has VAT. So that's VAT that you pay indirectly without actually knowing. So what happens is when a manufacturer of, let's say, sugar, how much he has invested into the sugar, of course he has his markup as well. Then he will have to add 18% VAT. Okay, so the 18% VAT, you don't know about it. Maybe if you mind knowing about it, you will know, but you don't know about it because they are not supposed to tell you. They top up 18% VAT and then they charge you. So if you go to even these big supermarkets, even those big supermarkets charge VAT on some of their products. Even National Water charges us VAT. Even Umeme charges us VAT. Even when you go to your city council to pay the taxes, on top of the taxes they include VAT. So that's an indirect tax that you pay. However, there are some direct taxes that you're supposed to pay. Each Ugandan is supposed to pay, like income tax. Income tax is the kind of tax that we all pay after we have, on the profits we make a year. So every year, when you make, let's say, 100 million, let me not say 100, let's say you make 50 million. On top of, after you make 50 million, let's say 100 million. And the 100 million, you buy fuel for your car, you pay school fees for your kids, you pay your rent if you pay rent, you buy a car to ease your transport, you buy clothes for your family, you buy food. So all those expenses, after they are done, let's say you keep like a 20 man, okay? The 20 million that is remaining after you have spent on everything you're supposed to spend on, you have to pay income tax off of that. And income tax is 30%. Now, that 30%, you cannot pay income tax if you don't have a tax identification number, okay? You need to have a tax identification number to pay tax. Now, there are some crucial things that you cannot do without a TIN number. Like, you can't own a car without a TIN number. You can't own a plot of land, of course, not the Kabaka land, but the land where you have a land title. Everything that where you need to have titles of ownership, I think. I don't know if that's what they call it. You need to have a tax identification number. Okay? Now the TIN number is probably how URA will trace and see if you have basically been paying tax honestly. So the tax identification number is something that is a requirement for every working Ugandan. You need to have a tax identification number to help you pay taxes. Of course, they're for companies, then they pay VAT, and then for you, if you're an employee, you pay what they call pay as you earn. Whenever you earn salary, they deduct some percentage of your salary, and then you pay tax. And then, of course, to pay NSSF, you also need a TIN number. And then, basically, there are companies that will never work with you or employ you if you don't have a tax identification number, because as a responsible citizen, then you're supposed to be paying income tax, and then they'll have to deduct pay as you earn off of your salary. Yeah. So you need to have a TIN number. This is the exact weather that happened in that Will Smith movie where he survived with the dog. But this weather, by the way, for you guys that are driving, is very dangerous. In this weather, teri motoka esiba bulungi. Ne woba brakes bazitaddeko ggulo. Teri motoka esiba bulungi. That's why you see that I'm maintaining the kind of distance I'm maintaining. And during the rainy season, you should actually leave home earlier to avoid certain problems. That's why reporting all the accidents that happen in the morning on rainy days. You would know how many people actually have accidents. Because during this rainy season, the rainy mornings, it's rush hour basically, and osobola okusiba emmotoka n'egaana n'ekuuta emipiira paka kutuuka ku muntu akuli mu maaso. Era abantu abamanye emmotoka, they keep distance. Olaba n'oyo omusajja wa Subaru atuli mu maaso, he's keeping a very big distance ku mmotoka ezimuli mu maaso. I'm thinking he's experienced, akimanyi nti essaawa eno emmotoka zigaana okusiba. I think that's why these automakers, they created the ABS, automatic over air braking system. The ABS helps you probably brake, but during this kind of weather, even the ABS might not be helpful. So I actually see people that are driving very close to other people, and I imagine saying, if the person in front of you brakes abruptly, or so during this kind of weather, you need to keep a distance from the car that is in front of you to avoid having certain problems. Yeah, you see the Subaru guy, that guy is experienced. He knows, probably has had a number of accidents as a result of this weather. So I'm thinking you have realized that the people that drive without minding the distance between them and the car in front of them are people that are driving cars for newbies, like the IST, the Spacios, obumotoka bw'abayiga. Abantu abavuga obumotoka bw'abayiga bebavuga nga tebawa motoka emuli maaso distance. But all the guys that are driving cars of experienced people, like the Land Cruisers, which take it at the double cabins, they know that accidents actually during this time, during this time, accidents are prone to happen. And it will not happen because the motoka yote siba oboli mugwagwa. No. It will happen simply because emipiira sawa eno n'enguudo zaffe biseerera. And even if you break, ne oba waguze emipiira emipya yesterday, you will break, but you will still knock the car in front of you. okitegeera ngezezaako teekako etaala so that you guys see my beautiful face properly. Naye I need to get an engineer akube wano kalibiti probably so that I get and I look like an angel. You know how they used to do in those movies and they put the ring around the angel. It's like when you put the ring, so what? So what? And then like the ring makes the angel angelish. And then sometimes they put a light above the angel, like that's a drop down light, makes like this guy is an angel, real angel. You are coming, man. Yeah. So anyway, during this weather, if you're driving, be very, very careful. So questions, I think Emma, I've tried to answer you very well. You need to have a TIN number. Bobo ugenda kola transfer y'emmotoka. For you guys that normally come to me and you're buying a car but you don't have a TIN number, you've realized that, especially for the guys that don't have TIN numbers, your transfers take some time. Yeah. So it so happens normally when you buy a car and the person that is doing the transfer for us is there. For the guys that have bought cars with me and they already have TIN numbers, you realize that we get the transfer that very day. But for the guys that don't have TIN numbers and that day that are not ready, we normally take time. Of course, there is one transfer that has taken a very long time. Is Hillary's transfer, because I'm very busy, and because the person that is supposed to do the transfer for us is in the US and he doesn't know how to do this, so I'm supposed to do an instructional video on how to actually get transfer forms from your TIN, and I've not yet gotten the time to actually do that video. So that's why that's the single transfer that we have not done from all the cars that I've helped people buy. Every person that I helped buy a car, the car is in their names. If it's not in their names, then it's their fault. It can't be, the problem can't be on our end. We try to be as efficient as possible. ABS is anti-lock brake system. It assists the car to brake while maintaining steering control. So it actually doesn't help your car brake during these wet seasons. Thank you very much, my brother. Katimura, but it's anti-lock. It locks the steering so that as you brake, the steering doesn't kuzunga. Sketcho, Alan. Me, my ABS najijako. Yatonya, and they told me mitwala asatu, and I thought we have been driving these chipinas for years without the ABS, so you're going to tell me to have the ABS now? Yeah, as long as you know how to drive a car. You have been driving. I drove Chikumi, Caldina, and all those cars. I did not kutome that because of lack of ABS. I kutome that because of irresponsibility. And then you're telling me I buy ABS thingy for 300,000. If you're mounting a light, put a strip around the car visa area. By the way, talk about the trip. Let me see. Like this. But this is better, Alan. That's better. Definitely better. Yeah. So, I'm going to find a strip, by the way. Let me just find a strip and put it around here. You're very right. Kanonka vehicle. Yeah. So, but I hope you guys are doing well. Question Friday. Katimula banange njize yechipya. Chino ABS is anti-lock, not air brake. Anti-lock system. It locks the steering rack in position so that when you brake, steering wheel tezunga. Yeah. Sir Arthur, I'm not the one who asked the question. Ani abuziza, it's my I did not see Anifa. Sorry, Emma. Sometimes I can't really read when I'm driving. So sorry. What's the process of getting it? A TIN number is very easy, by the way. You can even do it online. Just go to the URA portal and follow the instructions. I think I have to do a video on that. I got my TIN way back in 2012. Yeah, so then it was a little harder. You had to get papers, take them to URA and all. But today you can actually do it online. Where can I get a TIN from and how long does it take? You can do it online where you are right now. Just go to the portal and then do that. To their website, ura.go.ug. Actually, the wheels brake and move at the same time, but it happens very quickly but doesn't lock the steering. What? Actually, the wheels brake and move at the same time, but it happens very quickly but doesn't lock the steering. But still, during this weather, I don't think the ABS would help us. I don't really think the ABS would help us. I think when I was driving the Vit sometime, it refused to brake and hurry, and I wasn't going fast. It's just that I didn't get damage. So probably that's one of the reasons why I'm very careful during the rainy periods like this. I know that however much you're experienced as a driver, so you need to keep a distance between you and the car in front of you, so that when you brake and it refuses, you actually have that drag space for you to drag. So for the guys that have just joined today's Question Friday, let's ask our questions. The people here are going to answer our questions. Whichever question you have, but this is an let me just come. When was the last time you guys saw a comb like this? Especially for you guys about Dubai, about Europe, combs like this still exist. It doesn't have a brand though. But for about Uganda, they didn't even know to be Tegera. Yeah. So anyway, Question Friday, you can actually ask questions. Katimuna Batu is the ABS way caller. But don't worry if you're driving a car that has no ABS, it's okay. Mine doesn't have ABS. I refuse to get ABS. That is spoiling of money. That 300,000 can do other things, other important things. Those are like almost 10 bags of cement, because at 300 ambambu zake mitwalo mukaga mumu kakaga to get 2 extra bags of cement. Bambu zake mitwalo ngakumi to get like 3 bags of cement. Can you please talk about Toyota Nadia, how it consumes? It consumes, Jordan, Reynard. The Nadia consumes. The Nadia consumes. I tell you, it's a 5-seater. It's a 4 passengers car. So I'm thinking the Nadia, okuja Kongo jagara bwagazi, the Nadia would not be a very good purchase at this time. You have it like this. These combs are unique to Uganda. You may not be able to get them in other countries. Some things are unique to Uganda. Yeah. So the Nadia. Ala ni botabala. Nzokufaya nafuna buli obuntu wange tujirawa. Kati nsibira ku moroka ndawe. Thank you. Ngenda foka doctor. I'm going to do a PhD. Bampiteko doctor. Ngenda okufanga at least bampiseko doctor. Yeah, anyway, Nadia, Jordan, leave the Nadia right now. Leave the Nadia. That's my only piece of advice. It's a comfortable car. It looks a little prestigious, but leave it. It will give you a headache. Enyanyo atenge bwebanga etandisa okufebyo system bya mafuta. You will still not have peace. So all I'm saying is that the Nadia, first of all, it's a 2000cc all technology, 4-wheel drive. Most of them are 4-wheel drive. And still they are old cars. That's one thing you need to understand. So you're going to buy it. It has probably been driven for more than 10 to 15 years, 20 years probably. And in the past, it used to be a very prestigious car. And people used to like enjoy driving it, no trouble. But right now there are cars that you can actually drive. You can drive a Vista. It's not as raised as the Nadia, but the Vista is VVTi. And Ojakusanga, they are selling it to you Nadia at 10 million, which is in good condition. A Nadia that is below 10 million would definitely not be in very good condition. I tell you, you can get a Vista at 10 million and let's say 11, 10, very good condition. If you're looking for comfort, I find that the Mark II has better comfort than the Nadia. When do these car insurance help? Because literally every time we get into accidents, we settle things between us, and even the police tell us to pay ourselves depending on who was wrong. Okay, Gaetano. So Jordan, I think I've answered you. My basic answer is leave the Nadia alone, don't buy it. There are other cars you can buy that are better than the Nadia and yet consume better. The Nadia is yeah. So Gaetano, this is what happens. Third-party insurance covers everybody outside the car. You get everybody and everything outside the car. You knock a building, third-party insurance is supposed to pay that building owner. You make a border guy, third-party insurance is supposed to pay that border guy. Under the law, you're not obligated to pay anyone that you knock on the road. You're not obligated. Do you know why the traffic police tells you to pay those people? Because under the law, if you knock someone, police is supposed to lock you up. They're supposed to take you in, and after taking you in, take you to court and charge you for reckless driving. Reckless driving, they can lock you up for up to 10 years. They can fine you, let's say about 1.6 or 2 million. They can charge you whichever amount the judge thinks is fit. So normally traffic police is trying to make things quick. Now, they take you in, they charge you, they lock you up for 10 years. This person gets your insurance information, they buy a police report, then they go to your insurance company. Okay? And then when they go to your insurance company, the insurance company decides to pay them, or actually if the police report says that they were not in wrong, the insurance company is supposed to pay them. But that process is long for both of you. Category, imagine you have knocked a border guy, police locks you up, they take you, probably you get police bond, you come out, but your car cannot leave the police station because it has to go to you get what I'm saying? For a month you're not driving. So easy for you. So that even the policeman gets like a 20k, you pay this guy also on Tegera. So police is trying to make things easy on you. Because imagine you go to court and the judge decides that, okay, we are going to lock you up for 2 years. Is 2 years better than you paying a border guy 50k and giving the traffic police 20k and then repairing your car? You most of the times you realize that doing the easy thing is easy. And then even for the border guy, it's easier for him to get like a 50k again than saying at a police report. You'll find that they are telling him to buy a police report at like 20,000. You have to go pay in the bank, buy a police report. You get it? And then go to the insurance company, which might not pay you. They will make you walk, and then not pay you. So it's easier to negotiate. Arthur, do you have an idea on the law requiring all cars to have dust bins? What are the specifications of that dustbin? Plastic, Kavera, box, how? That's not a law, it's a directive. It's illegal. That thing is illegal, but you know in Uganda anything is possible. That thing is illegal. In my car, I have seat pockets, I have door pockets here. I can put, like me in my car, I have rubbish here right now. This is rubbish wabweru. I have rubbish here. This is rubbish wabweru. So it's illegal and it's a stupid thing for them to think that just because someone puts a dustbin here, that they will put they will put rubbish there. It's an illegal law. It's stupid. It's like all the things, the directives that we get in Uganda majority of the time, it's a stupid thing, and I don't even know who came up with it. You find people that you would think are civilized. Someone is driving like a Land Cruiser. You would think that this person, by the time Land Cruiser, they damage the environment. And those cars actually have bigger bigger door pockets here where you can put rubbish, but they don't, because they are not civilized in the mind. So what they should do, instead of bringing reckless directives, they should create awareness on the dangers of Ubeda. They have never created an awareness that went like a year, which is what they should do. They should create awareness on TV. They should create awareness on radio. They should create awareness over social media. They should use people like me to create awareness using drama, using dance, using music, so that everyone learns that, okay, it's as simple as that. But apparently, like you see, Betty Kamya released a report that says that most of the people in government, they don't get their jobs because they are qualified. They get their jobs because they pay money. They get their jobs using fake papers. They get their jobs through godfathers. Of course, like her, because she doesn't qualify to be IGG, we all know. You get? So, but and I think that's the reason why we have that stupid directive of get a dustbin and put it in a car. For them, they think that the people that made the cars, they don't know that we need dustbins. That's why they put the pockets here, so you can put the rubbish there. We have seat pockets behind here. The passenger can put rubbish there. Like if you looked at my car, when my wife uses like face wipes to clean up the boys, she puts them there, and then when we get home, she removes them and puts them in the. It's just civilization, educating people, creating awareness. Stupid. It's a stupid directive. It exists. Buraka dustbin. What? You don't have it. Create awareness. It's there, it exists. So wabovuga emotoka gula dustbin ogitekemu, but it's a stupid thing. Actually, people like me might start to spite the person that did the directive. Have it here, but still do rubbish out. Very true. It makes my head boil. But that's Uganda. Everything is possible. Like you can think, who thought of this thing of the tukutuku ambulances, and they're riding them around town showing off. It's like it's an achievement. I'm still thinking with the people that are in our civil service. And you know, I think it's these ministers that are way out of reality. Like that tukutuku. You put a pregnant woman in that tukutuku. Some pregnant women, the tukutuku will not move. They are too heavy. Arthur, is Mark 2 Grand a VVTI? Yes, Mark 2 Grand is VVTI. And it's too comfortable. It's too comfortable. Yeah, Marvin, just think of the tukutuku ambulances. Like, people sat in a boardroom and they thought of ideas, and someone came and presented and said, let us make tukutuku ambulances. And I'm thinking the person that thought of tukutuku ambulances sat down with the person that was going to make tukutuku ambulance, and they thought, let us make a scheme where we can eat money. And they created that thing, and someone is definitely getting rich from those tukutuku. You can start thinking, probably that each tukutuku cost us like 56 million or 70 million each tukutuku there. Because buying the tukutuku is like over 8 million. So they will tell you that okuteka ke tundubali koka, that's 20 million. Okuteka mo obutebetebe obuli modified, another 20 million. And then just like that, they'll eat 70 million off each tukutuku. And yet we all know, like at 180, sometimes I think it might not even get to there. Like 60, 80 million, you can get a real ambulance. You get. After the problem is, as Ugandans, we don't want to take responsibility for action. That's why people wake up very early to dump trash on the roadside. I think Alan, me as Arthur, I am to blame, but the government is to blame. Why am I blaming the government? The government is supposed to create a system. What? Sorry. The government is supposed to create a system of garbage disposal where they help the citizens, actually deal with rubbish. The government is supposed to create a system where they help the systems deal with rubbish. Like in my home, in my estate, I cannot tell you that there's a system where I can. The government should actually be dealing with the garbage disposal. I don't know if I make sense. They should have trucks. Every like division should have like 50 trucks of just dealing with rubbish. You get? But our government doesn't. It starts with government not wanting to take responsibility. You get? And please, if there is anyone that wants to politicize this is not political. This is Arthur talking about my government because I have a right to talk about my government. So please don't come and politicize this. I don't want you to politicize. We are talking service delivery. Because someone is going to come and say, hey, Arthur drone agenda kunona. We are talking about something that we should do. Alan has said that we don't like to take responsibility. And I'm telling you guys, the government doesn't want to take responsibility. There are services that should be government responsibility. Okay? Services are like rubbish. Services like sewage. Those things are government. If you want to organize cities, government makes citizens pay for sewage every month or every year because they will come to your home and take the sewage themselves when the time comes. You just dial a number and they come. Like over how the mafias know that I'm talking about them now, they started disturbing my internet. You guys, hi Morgan, hi JK. So you guys, this is not the point that Alan has brought is not a political point. I want to make it very clear. I want to make it very clear. It's not a political point. It's us knowing who should take responsibility for what I was saying. JK, you remember yesterday when I was saying that we should learn to portion blame. When something wrong happens, someone is definitely to blame all the time. But if we don't blame the people we should blame, then they don't know that it's their fault and they don't take care of it. Like the point of rubbish, yes, we are to blame, but also government is to blame. If people keep throwing rubbish out of the car, the point is not to make them get dustbins in their car. The point is for government to actually get the government to get monitoring officers to come and monitor on the streets and find people on the spot. Someone throws rubbish out of the car, find them 100,000 and let them pay it there, and then and then slowly by slowly the spirit will go out. You guys say yourselves about Europe and Dubai, the fines are too much, and that's why people keep respect the law, because they are going to be fined a lot. I don't know if I make sense. So the fines should be there, and the fines should be like, you find a taxi guy driving past the red traffic light, and the traffic officer is standing there. What taxi na itau? Probably because the taxi belongs to one of the guys at traffic headquarters. So some guys are above the law and the other guys are not. We don't take responsibility. Someone is saying there is a project funded by World Bank on a new landfill in Dundu that will require all citizens to pay towards garbage disposal. I hope the project won't be eaten up. But Marvin, why do we even have to get a project funded by the World Bank to dispose of garbage? Like, we pay taxes. We pay taxes, guys. Every Ugandan, by the every Ugandan, every Ugandan pays taxes. We pay VAT off of every liter of fuel you buy. We pay VAT off every kilo of sugar you buy. We pay VAT. I think even only salt, it's only salt that doesn't pay tax, that VAT. But every other thing that you buy from the supermarket, you pay VAT. Morning. Lukumi. You pay. Yes. Yeah, you pay VAT of everything. Ogudemo akatengo Arthur. Munange sikatengo. I need to make things clear, because apparently I actually have friends that actually call to threaten me. You can't talk about poor service delivery because they will say Mbukatigoli wa noob. You get it? But poor service delivery should be talked about by every citizen. It's all political, however you choose to describe it. Okay, it's political, but in Uganda, what is political and it's not praising, then it becomes bad. You get it? Your everyday life is governed by politics, and one can choose to hide their head in the sun, but it changes nothing. I pay 53% of my money in taxes, but I can't complain. Also, exactly, JK. Exactly what I'm saying. But you know, JK, in Uganda, if you talk about things that are not going well here in Uganda, then you're a bad person because you're opposing the government. And I think that's a wrong stance. Like when I talk about garbage disposal, these guys here, they do it. They have papers. If they paid for tax and the garbage was taken away in time, they would have no problem. But apparently we pay taxes, and nze wange jensura nkanika bushi ndoza buli mwezi oba buli miezi ena. But the only reason I'm actually fixing those bushes is because mpita ku luguudo lw'essemuto lulinga toilet, lulimu ebinya. Like every 1 meter there is a pothole deep enough, very deep. My neighbor had to get rid of his Volkswagen because of the potholes. Yavuga pothole nekuba yingini nekuba ekinya kyakuba the karanks wansi and oil nayika yenna. And when you talk about those potholes, they will say, oh, your drone agenda kumunona. But should we get to that level? You get? Yeah, they can fine over 300,000 for throwing rubbish on the road. Let that rule come. Instead of you saying, Arthur, you get a dustbin in your car. Then, like, if I get a dustbin, will I stop throwing rubbish outside of my car? They should just create awareness, sensitize citizens on the dangers of throwing rubbish outside out of the car, the dangers of using those very strong hard beavers. Free education until PhD. Free education, a safety net for those that don't earn enough. Jakonjagaza okuva Uganda ngende Bulaya. Thank you. Onjagaza okugenda Bulaya, JK. Actually, that's why I gave my kids Norwegian names. Like, my kids' first names are Norwegian. They are not English. They are not Ugandan. The reason I did that is I'm preparing for the day that shit gets real. and I have to move them to another country, at least they'll have a first name that people will not struggle to pronounce. You get. And I know which country I want to take them to. Guys, if you haven't, soon we are funny that a person can urinate behind an open toilet. And we are not sensitized, Alan. That's what I'm saying. That this ministry that said get dustbins in your car, it should instead focus on creating sensitization. They should buy TV shows. They should pay for TV shows to be aired on TV, where the TV shows are indirectly teaching people how to be clean. You get it? They should pay for radio dramas on radio. They should publish magazines and give them free to people. They should pay for billboards. Get a very big budget on marketing, and they should use. That's why I'm saying I don't know which kind of people are in these ministries. There are ministries that should strictly be for sensitization. You get it? There's this Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development. They should have a section there, because if you're dealing with labor, part of the reason why labor is going to be very expensive is because people get sick all the time, and then their medical bills are too expensive. And then one of the things you should do is probably sensitize them how they can make their lives easier, exercise more, do this more. But apparently I've never seen a campaign. The only things that probably you find government sensitizing people is HIV and AIDS, hepatitis B, and even those, they don't come from their budget. It's funded by World Bank, funded by UNICEF, funded by, you get what I'm saying? Like, why should we get things funded by people outside? Like Gatina, the only thing that probably doesn't get funded is their new cars that they buy. Free health care, good roads, even in the deepest villages, fiber internet. Man, JK, you make me not proud to be a Ugandan. And I'm saying this openly. I hope someone from a government agency is watching this and they start trying to make things work. Make Ugandans be proud, not by just saying it. You find people, they are plastically holding a flag. Uganda is a very beautiful country. But I've been saying it in the Rendive Kampala Sidda, never go back for Tebanzika one, but Jakunzike. Because the day that I get like tired of being a Ugandan and I say Wanobiganye, I will go. You get it? The reason I'm here is because I know we can change Uganda. We can actually change Uganda. But the day I give up Nengamba, biganye. Ngenda kuli nyonyeyo nja kulya kasasiro nga sikomyewo. Era nzo mko mjja kulabanga bagamba, this guy, he had a good life in Uganda. Why did he go? Now he's eating on the rubbish pit in Jakubera. Because at least I know, erine bobo lya kasasiro, bolwala bakujjanjaba. Kubwerere. Uganda. Okay, we have a question. Arthur, why do automakers like on some models of VW have a plastic oil sump? I think they are trying to cut costs. And probably be more environmentally friendly. I think you see when they are talking about the BMWs and all their plastics and it's cost cutting, because BMWs have always been expensive, so they are trying to make some cheaper models of those cars or probably cut their costs, their own costs, and then they make plastic. And then sometimes they'll give you things like plastic is biodegradable, it's recyclable, so that's why we are making plastics. And yeah, probably those are the only two reasons that I've read about Uganda, the Pearl of Africa. The Pearl of Africa is not our made. The Pearl of Africa has been made by God. We as people that live in the Pearl of Africa need to make the Pearl of Africa worth living in. We need to make it worth living in, and the government has a bigger part to play than us, the citizens. You remember when we were talking about, when I was telling you guys that nobody is stupid, everybody does what they do based on what they know. If the Ugandan government does not sensitize Ugandans on what it means to have a clean environment, on what it means to have a good toilet system, on what it means to eat a balanced diet, on what it means, you get it, without actually being funded. They should have this in the budget. Every year, every ministry should have a sensitization budget. Every year. But apparently, because majority of the guys that are in government went to those pit hole latrines, they think pit hole latrines are okay. Apparently, because most of those guys that are in government went to school bare feet, think it's okay for our kids to suffer. Apparently, because those guys that went to government, a lot of bad things they went through their life, so they think that it's okay for us to go through our lives. So JK is saying that they pay progressive tax, but in case one earns less than anticipated in a year, the tax office pays back the extra paid tax without one lifting a finger. For one, no. Even if you paid URA more than you should have paid them, they cannot give you back that money. And apparently someone was giving me a testimony that I think they have a relative that works in URA on the border, and that relative comes back home with about 4 million every day. Corruption, those are bribes every day. 4 million from bribes. Atenga URA is one of the highest paying government agencies, but corruption is normal. If a minister can steal iron sheets, then a URA officer at the border sees nothing wrong with getting bribes of 4 million. You get a minister, the minister doesn't pay for fuel, doesn't buy a car, doesn't pay for school fees, doesn't pay for medicine. Such idiots. Remember when I was telling you guys, nobody's actually a fool, nobody's stupid. We are exposed to a certain level of information, and it's this information that governs our thought process and what we do. It has nothing to do with stupidity. It has nothing to do with lack of knowledge. So until the government understands this, bagenda sigaranga baleetebye ebiteekateeka byabwe ebitanyuma, like those laws of if you don't put in a seat belt, the fine is 200,000. First, sensitize the people and tell them the importance of seat belts. Before you bring that directive of Sijui, you need to have a dustbin in your car. Tell these people the importance of not throwing rubbish out of the car to the environment, to their future generations. Because finally, when we're going to have grandkids, what is the danger of throwing rubbish out of the car? How will it affect my grandchildren? That's what I need to know. Because if I understand that danger, then I will not throw rubbish out of the car. I don't know if I make sense, guys. Good morning, Uncle Arthur and everyone. Nze ebintu byawan when birowoozaako binyiza, like seriously, our country nedda. When onyiga kitono. That's a Suzuki Ertiga. I think this came brand new from Toyota Uganda. Suzuki Ertiga. Erojirabe UBL, the red number plate. There are chances that this person did not pay tax. Yeah, but this must be brand new from the Toyota showroom. After the Mark 4 Golf, I want to get one as a project car. How much can? It depends on the condition. But those Mark 4, the Golf Mark 4s are actually very affordable. You can get one 4 million, 3 million, 5 million, depending on the condition, depending on who is selling and where you're buying it. They're actually cheap. Atobo moto kanabobo li reliable. But I would recommend you get a manual one. Gearbox ejakuta wanya nyo. Since you're buying a project car, you buy a manual one, because that one at least you know the gearbox is out of the question. The engines, they rarely die if you service them properly. Then if yourself. Prosperity for all automatically creates a security. Thank you very much. No need for all the tear gas vehicles. If people are sure of their children going to school and getting treatment when needed, corruption will reduce. Thank you very much, JK. Man, I see the kind of budget that police and the army get. Recently, we cannot even get ambulances. But if you saw the news and you saw the number of tear gas vehicles that were bought, I'm still wondering the kind of policy makers we have in this country. Like, did they even go to school? Like, which schools did they go to? Which universities did they attend? Which people taught them? Like, batagera bulungi. You get it? Nze ebintu bya Uganda wano nga Salmin bwagambye binyiiza. Yeah, I gave my kids Norwegian names for that purpose. Nti bwe nfuluma Kampala wano nze ne bwendya Kasasiro ngamba tutte mmanya balijja kulya. Bajja genda ku ssomero. Bajja genda mu ddwaliro. I was told by a friend that there is a woman at Internal Affairs who makes 7 million every week from deals and never has to touch her salary. I wonder what deals. Like, you want passport in Express, Simanya, these people that they get at the passport office and they make you not a Ugandan. They ask you questions that are very hard for you to answer, that even a real Ugandan cannot answer. You get, eh? Even a real Ugandan cannot answer. Because there is a time I went to this passport office, and this chick who doesn't look to be Ugandan at all was asking me questions like Ovamulu Nyirirwani, and I asked her, do you know what a Runyiriri means? You get it? And then he was asking me, Jajaoba Muzarawa, and I told her the place, and she asked me, is this in Uganda? And I was asking myself, this chick that doesn't live in no places in Uganda is trying to question my citizenship. So that's how they do. You can go and they ask you questions that are very hard for you to answer, to the extent that you fail. And when you fail, they start saying, Sasura yaka sente fetukuyiseo of ne passport. And this chick was asking me, I was getting my third passport. I was getting my third passport. And this chick is asking me, Mbuno, are you a Ugandan? And I'm asking myself, I got a passport at 16 years. I got another passport when I think 19. I'm getting another passport now. And you are questioning my citizenship simply because you had someone that could help you get a job in internal affairs, at internal affairs. Forgive my English, JK. Prayer will not change the country. Europe went through the same phase over a century ago, but it took citizen awareness to demand accountability. Exactly. But apparently, JK, that time will come for Africa, but not in our lifetime. JK, now if you demand for accountability, they say you're politicizing things. Toyogera politics. Someone was telling me, I thought Toyota politics could channel you. But if you don't demand for accountability, we are going to keep failing we are going to fail to maintain the cars. When the motor will say ogula shoko. But if the roads are good, well made, you will drive shocks for years. That's why you'll find that you buy a car that is Japanese. That's a Mark X, by the way. I think that's like 2012. Very nice. Ate yotenywa mafuta wa deribilitane. Yuzo disange nywanga Corolla yange. They don't. Those newer models of Mark X, they don't consume fuel at all. So Athak, I can get one at 5 to 6 million for golf. Yes. You can get Isaac. You can get, definitely. Ate ya 5 to 6 million ojaji sanga namuno obulamu. Mark 2 Grand 2000 for those with zigzag knob. This inga kufachi anko. Tezifa. All Mark 2s, by the way, I'm telling you this. The only trouble they have is that they are rear wheel drives. And if you don't replace the ball joints in time, the ball joint will break on you in jam. But those Mark 2s, that's one car I will drive again. I think it's the same with, it's just that the Mark X, you see the distance I'm maintaining now? The Newaragura Mataraga Mark X. During periods like this when the roads are slippery, you can enter however you want. When it's dry, when it's wet, I don't want to buy lights for other people, so I keep my distance. And if you're driving in Kampala today, you should keep your distance too. And I'm sure you don't want to do that. So keep distance. Katiobono wa Suzuki yayigira motoka. A block in the rain bid ateche unsa musajja mukuru ayina nebirevu ngebyange. Niyo bayayigira motoka. My woman suffered to get a passport because of her Rwandan heritage. Now you can think, like, yes, someone is has Rwandan heritage, but they are Ugandan. We have different kinds of citizenship, by naturalization, by birth, and all that. But you cannot tell me that someone, because their grandfather from the mother's side is Rwandan, then they are not citizen. We get Somalis that have Ugandan passports, and then you get a real Ugandan and you try to stop them from getting passports. And you know the funny thing, the things that are happening in this country, they will bring about vigilantism. You guys know vigilantism, where a certain group of people take it in their own hands, bring justice. Someone was asking me about that early on. Yeah? Here parents were born in Uganda and her parents are born in Uganda, and she was also born in Uganda. She knew nothing about Rwanda, but getting a passport was hassle. Her name Nina Munu. Yeah. But that name, even me, I would question you. The name is still Rwandan. The name is still Rwandan. Of course, in Uganda, whatever Bazungu is Uganda. Whatever the Somalis get Ugandan passports. Yeah? Someone that was born here, as long as you know your facts, you know I was born in this village, and stuff like my grandfather is this name, he was born in this village, and sometimes as long as you have a birth certificate that is Ugandan, eh? Like for us, my kids, you can definitely get, and I think these immigration officers should understand that majority of the time when someone is getting a passport, they are trying to escape. Let them go. They are not getting a Ugandan passport because they are too proud. They are trying to escape. I think Ugandan policymakers should understand. Make Uganda very pleasant to live in, and people even stop getting passports. A national ID is enough. You get? But you realize that some people even go to get national IDs because they want to get passports and leave this country. Me, I love my country. That's why I'm here. The only reason I'm in Uganda is because I love my country. And I believe that I can make a great impact in the world while I'm in Uganda than when I go to a country like Denmark. We say, but if a time comes and I realize that Yonabia and Puna, trust me, I will pay even 100 million to go. At that time. And there are people that have gotten to that level, the level where someone has 50 million that can be used as capital. Na sasa sunamba mtuali Canada. You get? And majority of the time it's because people that are in positions of power have made life in Uganda a living hell. If government invested in good roads and all necessary infrastructure, the citizens will do the rest without the government. Exactly, JK. Exactly. Me, you would imagine I'm struggling. I'm building a company to make sure that the 18 young people that are working under me start getting a regular income. They start paying tax through pay as you earn. They start saving with NSSF. This is a struggle I'm doing on my own, and I don't need Ugandan government help. Let them deal with corruption, so that like if I submit a bid for a government project, I take about 50% of the money that they are supposed to pay me. Okay, let them fix the road so that some of the money that I would use to repair my car, I invest it in the business, because the business I invest in is actually going to help the 18 people that work under me to get regular salaries. You get? Eventually more, but policy makers some of those policy makers in government, they have small brains. Their brains have shrunk. So it's probably why they can't think properly. I wonder who plans for us. The people that plan for us, some of the people that plan for us, they would qualify to be called stupid. They would qualify. I'm saying they would qualify because, trust me, they would definitely qualify to be called stupid. Why they tell him what is stupid? Because one thing you need to know, that stupid in this case, I'm meaning ignorant. They are not exposed. They are barbaric. I want to see if I can do service here. Service because we have bakira njagala bakole service in Moroccan. Soko jomba liremu. Ngasina genda kulunyalwa mmwe. So I'm going to do service here Total. The reason why I do service Total, I did Shell for a very long time. Nenfuna ebimere mu engine uliwe yaleka abawunya. Soko mbaliremu. Saa teka kulunyalwa mmwe ngato namba idajangu tubale wano. So Uganda is a true definition of forgotten my stomach. Baba mbaliramu oil filter, nele bando za air cleaner. Air cleaner yakuwa mukola. Kuchusa. Ye 13 kali. Nteke wano oba wali. Kali. Bana guys, muwulira ate kati ndi ku total gye wali suubidde nti yabeeyi for the guys that do service, and I'm going to use nga ntaddeko ne air cleaner empya. I'm going to put a new air cleaner. They are going to do oil. They are going to do oil filter, because that's the basic service that we do. I'm going to use 130 something. 130. I'm going to do 100 and Chogama mvuze bubi. Hey. Chogama mvuze bubi. Kyemvuze kyekyo. Kyemvuze what day. Wogenda okolera kale. So gwagitidde baba. So experience ya myaka 12. So let me just go through this. Our thought process and decisions are shaped by experiences. If our leaders are not exposed, thank you very much. Where do they get ideas from? They are not exposed. Some of them are ignorant. I get passionate about politics because I know a country's prosperity is entirely political. I tell people, I used to tell this to my wife like all the time when we were still dating. She used to tell me, the politics, and I told her, politics governs the hospitals you go in, politics governs the roads you go through, politics governs the way you get jobs. So, ngangamba mutalonda, actually that yate yalonda. That yate yalonda, nimugabo botalonda. The kids you're going to have, the hospitals they are going to go through are going to be governed by your decision to not vote. So if you're watching this broadcast and you don't vote, whatever happens in your constituency, whatever happens in the hospitals is governed by a decision to not vote. So if our people knew how federal system works, it would really help a country. I'm all for the federal system. For the guys that don't understand the federal system is what I think the United States has. Every region has a government. You'd see that a region like Central Region has a government, Western Region has a government, Eastern Region has a government, Northern Region has a government. And then all those governments have like a one leader. So the governors, I think Kenya has something close to that. Every region has a governor, and then the governors report to the president. I'm all for the federal system. I saw people that were told to bring their parents to answer questions for them at internal affairs. Old men and women, very liable to treat them like minors. I know, Isaac, I think they are to blame. As a Ugandan, me, I'm teaching my kids about their heritage. Today, my kids put on kanzos and they went to school because they have a cultural expression. I'm teaching them about their heritage. Yes, they don't speak Luganda now, but I'm teaching them you are Baganda, okay? Your father is so and so, your grandfather is so and so. I'm already teaching them these things because it's important. I'm teaching them that it's important for you to know where you come from, because kati mtabani wange ne baba tamanyi Luganda ne certificate ya kitawe ajja kugamba agenda okujja 70 million to get residence permits here because they know they can make it in a year. The jeke era bwe natuuka nendabanga whatever I'm doing here is byampuna. Ojja kundabira ojjeke nkugambe muganda wange soko onsuzeeke ennaku nga 2. You do service every 3 months, or I do service every like 2 months. Sometimes depending on how much I move, I can do even every month. But basically I do service every 2 months because in ntambula nnyo mvuga kilomita 8 every day. Okitegeera. So what's your opinion on Castro? I hear Castro is very good oil. Aba golf gye bakozesa, aba Benz, I think. But me, I'm going to use Total Quads. This is Total Quads. On 5,000 kilometers, eh? Wanji? Yeah, yeah. So this is what I'm going to use. I'm going to put a new air cleaner and then of course air oil filter. Yeah. So I think it's a good. I think it's almost the same with the. But it's Castro here is very good. My mom would literally drag us to vote whenever any of us turn 18. It's very important for people to vote. Kenya is a republic. Okay. The fact is we are in 2023, but abroad guys are in 2023. 2223. Hata wowote ma korona jitulekele. Singatuka kutema. I still have faith in my country. I still have faith in my country
I believe that we should get young people like you who is watching this to actually go run for political office. Mugezeko okukyusa ebintu, mugende mu applyinge ku mirimu gya internal affairs, mukyuse ku bintu naye ebintu ebitakyuke ngenda gende nowe mbeere eyo ati stingi Kasasiro nze mbabuulira Uganda yaffe weetuuse tujja ffenna kudduka tuveemu. But anyway guys, I have to go. Thank you very much for being part of this broadcast. Innocent, thank you very much. Martha, Emma, Alan, Anifa Mansour, Gideon Mvidi, Brian, Ruyonga, Marvin, Reina Jordan. I hope you guys have you've gotten your answers. Mwebaza Marvin, Gaetano, Mark BZ, Ruyonga, but Marvin Bari Babidi, Champion Morgan, sorry, JK, Munda, Mubinyo. Linda Katono, Salmin, Clip Films, thank you very much for being part of this, bro. Antonio, Philip, Emenu, Mwesegwa Isaac, and the rest of all the Abadi Mokamori. Namu Abajidaba later on. If you download this, I don't take it for granted. I do pre-purchase inspection. You're going to buy a car. I help you make the right decision. And charging emitwala anago car. And of course, I sell car tracking devices and car alarms. Of course, I'm a full-time, very good marketing person if you have challenges with your business. I wish you a very good day. I'll see you tomorrow in the evening. Ciao.